Bow, bow, bow.
Photoshop. Okay, Photoshop is the science, and science is the lie. Okay, let's believe Photoshop. You want to come back and Photoshop some images?
Science is always challenged every day. But it's not how we do it. We do it the real way, okay? And that's not science, okay? You can only you challenge science by science. What you do is just bullshit.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah, we challenge science every day.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
No, how can water conform to exterior of a ball?
Because it's locally looks like a... Locally, explain that please. Locally a sphere looks like a plane. Really locally. So it's attracted to the ground. So locally it looks like that. But overall, when you look at a really big surface, it's a sphere. So it's like being locally attracted. It's a sphere.
How can water exist? Okay. Exterior of a ball.
Okay, what do you mean how can exist?
If I want you to eat water, all water needs to be contained at this level. Because how can water conform to outside?
Because gravity is uniform around the Earth.
Right,
gravity is uniform around the Earth.
Can I ask you, how do you know that?
You can't take acceleration of objects around the whole Earth, and you get falling objects, and you'll see the acceleration everywhere the same around all the Earth.
But how can you prove to me that gravity can hold water to a ball?
Sorry?
I'm only asking a question, yeah? How can you prove that to me that gravity can hold water?
Gravity is uniform.
You're not even letting me finish the question. I'm simply asking you, and science should be open to being challenged and questioned. I'm asking you, how can you prove that gravity can hold water to a ball?
Because it's like you're attracted by the ground, right?
What is it?
You're attracted by the center of the Earth.
No, I'd have to say, how am I attracted to the gravity there? How do you know that?
How do I know that?
How can you prove that?
If you try to jump, you're gonna be stuck to the ground.
But that's not proving that there's a force pulling you down, is it?
In physical science, it's all about observations.
Right, I'm observing this. I don't see any force pulling me down.
Just jump.
But you don't know why you're coming down. You're assuming that what you've been told is the truth.
If there wasn't any force, I could just hold.
No,
you can try if you want. I don't think it's gonna work.
Can you let me speak? Your body is heavier than the atmosphere, so you're not going to float anywhere.
The atmosphere?
The molecules of your body is heavier than the atmosphere. A helium balloon is lighter, so it goes up. You won't go up because you're heavier than the atmosphere.
It's just because of... how can I explain that? Well, it's less dense, but basically the air wants to go up. But basically the acceleration up is higher than the acceleration down due to gravity. So you can go up. But gravity is still acting. It's not because you go up that gravity is not acting.
If you don't mind me saying, are you not just repeating what you've been taught?
Do you know that even when
I've asked a question.
I have been thinking.
Are you just repeating what you've been told?
No, I have been thinking about what I've been told and everything. But I came to the conclusion that I do agree with it.
Yeah, you agree with it, but it's a belief, is it not?
No, I analyze what I thought.
So how do you prove to me there's a force pulling you down? I'm only asking a question. How can you prove there's something pulling me down?
Can just jump.
You don't seem to be listening to me.
Jump.
Density and buoyancy.
Everything is coherent. All the theories are coherent to each other, and you can't find anything.
You're both talking at the same time. Why can you not just wait your turn?
Even the air is attracted by the ground.
Yes.
The molecules of this camera is heavy in the air, so it's going to drop. There's nothing pulling it down. If the molecules are lighter in the atmosphere, it will rise.
Zoom in or not? Can you feel when you hold this camera that it's pulling down?
Oh, why is it not pulling it down now?
Wait, if you remove your hand, it's just because you're.
I should feel a resistance if it's trying to pull it now.
You feel a resistance, right? Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I would feel a resistance if I was carrying
That's good reaction.
Don't tell me what I feel. I'm telling you I don't feel it.
I do feel the resistance on my bag.
Sorry?
I do feel the resistance, my bag wanting to fall down on my hand.
You feel the weight of your bag.
Yeah, the weight is a force.
Weight and gravity are the same thing.
You feel the weight of the contents of your bag.
The weight is a force due to gravity.
You're not letting me finish.
This camera, spend that time.
Science says it's open to challenge and question, but if you observe both of you now, how defensive you're being, I'm only asking questions. Right? I'm asking you to prove what you're saying, and you're getting very defensive, you're interrupting me, and you're talking over me.
Then, like, I might ask my boyfriend to... Wait, 5 seconds. I might ask my boyfriend to come back a few years later when he will have finished his studies and analyzed everything and thought about everything, and then he will have the exact answer. But as a student, we can read and analyze and then forget. Why? Because I can't remember everything, every proof I see, even though I understand the proof.
I interview astrophysicists, I interview professors, I interview scientists. None of them can prove to me of gravity pulling something down. They say it's not measurable, and they don't know how it operates. So,
I think it is measurable. It is perfectly measurable.
Well, tell me how it's measurable then.
Just drop something and you measure the acceleration.
How can you measure gravity?
You just drop something and measure the acceleration.
What's the scientific equation for gravity then?
F equals ma.
Right, okay then. Now you get an equation on a piece of paper. How does that prove something in reality?
Because it has sets.
Well, you've quoted
So you don't believe enough.
How is your camera working?
We're both talking, sorry.
How would your camera be working if all the equations were wrong?
I never said they're all wrong. I'm only asking for proof of gravity. That's all I'm asking. Please prove gravity exists. Please prove that gravity can hold water to a ball. Now, science should be demonstrable, repeatable and measurable. They cannot.
But it is repeatable.
No, they cannot produce a working model of a ball water in it. Why not?
Can you repeat the question?
Science cannot produce a working model of a ball water in it.
Well, it can produce a model, but it needs to be as big as the Earth or anything.
Sorry?
It needs to be as big as the Earth because it's all about level.
So it's a matter of size, is it?
So yeah, no, it's a matter of mass.
Because if I try to build a ball right now and try to stick water around it, of course it will not work because gravity of Earth is much bigger than gravity of my small ball.
How do you know that?
Because it's got more mass.
Because you were told?
Because it's
much
got
more
more
massive.
Okay, right. It's a question of mass then. Have you heard of Henry Cavendish?
Yeah.
Right, in the 18th century, he had two very small balls. Excuse the pun. And he claimed that the bigger mass attracted the smaller ball. They weren't big balls. Now, why is that experiment not being repeated?
Of course it's repeated.
No, it hasn't.
It has been.
Could you show me where? Can you reference it for me?
Yeah, of course.
Well, reference it where?
Yeah. Cavendish experiment. See, I just have to search online modern Cavendish experiment.
Where could I see this experiment being taking place?
Can probably see it in universities.
Probably?
For sure.
Why haven't you seen it though?
What do you mean?
You've not seen that experiment taking place, so have you?
But if you need to be convinced, you can see it.
Well,
but I don't need. I'm always
send emails and ask.
Well, if I'm to believe something, I must see it.
But like, yeah, you can probably send emails, ask for somebody to see it.
Can I ask you if you're being rather defensive?
What?
These are images of how the Cavendish experiment is done now. See?
Is that proof that I'm watching an experiment?
No.
Come on. That should be open to the public view to go and have a look.
Yeah, you can.
I have personally written to universities asking to see that. Not one university has got back to me.
Something I want to challenge you about is like, why would the Earth not spin when you can just put the pendulum and it just works? And do you remember? I've seen that one.
Foucault's pendulum.
The one that turns around.
Well, if you go to a museum where you see a Foucault's pendulum,
I have seen this.
they'll tell you that they start it up manually, and every 2 hours they have to start it up again. There's nothing to. Well, why are you shaking your head to that? Well, why don't you ask them?
No, it's not how it works.
Sorry?
They don't start. If they restart it manually at some points because of friction.
Are you making excuses for them? Are you making excuses for them?
No, it's science. Friction.
Did you know there's 5 scientific experiments concluding that the Earth does not move? Do you know of them?
Wait. What does move mean? What does even move mean?
5 scientific experiments went out to measure the movement of the Earth.
What does move mean? What does move mean?
Well, hold on, finish. They went out to measure the movement of the Earth spinning. They all concluded that the Earth does not move.
What does move mean? What does
do you
move
mean by move? Do you mean that?
See, because so if I go forward like this, for me my arm isn't moving because I don't see the distance changing. What does move mean?
You know
that's called relativity.
You know that the Earth is supposed to be spinning on its axis.
It's not supposed to. It does.
Well, I'm saying it's supposed to. I'm asking for proof. Now you're saying it does.
Just observe the hurricanes. The hurricanes are just...
Whatever's going on up there does not prove what's happening down here.
No. Hurricanes prove hurricanes are if you look at, for example, in the south hemisphere and the north hemisphere, the hurricanes are not spinning in the same way. You know that, right? And this can be explained with Coriolis effect, for example.
Coriolis effect is fictitious. It doesn't exist.
No. It's a fictitious thought, but it's not fictitious.
Well, you're making all these claims. I've asked for proof, and you haven't proved.
I can't prove Coriolis effect mathematically.
Prove it then.
I can't prove it. Give me a piece of paper. I'll prove it to you mathematically.
Writing something down on a piece of paper is not proof of anything.
No, it's mathematics do not lie. Okay.
No. Mathematics is a language that helps explain things. It does not prove anything in reality. It helps explain things.
No.
You write an equation down.
Well, you write it down, then you prove the equation again.
You've written down some ink on a piece of paper. It doesn't prove anything.
But you write it down, then you go around in the field and test it. That's what I do in labs.
So how would you test that then?
I don't know what you were talking about. I was looking around me.
Coriolis effect can prove Coriolis effect mathematically, right? Coriolis effect.
How does that prove it?
You can just take 2 rotating frames, and this proves Coriolis effect.
How does that prove the Coriolis effect?
Because no, the Coriolis effect is not a force; it's a fictitious force. So mathematically, it's just an effect of relativity. See, because for example, it's exactly what you're saying when you say moving. Moving doesn't make sense. Saying something moves doesn't make sense. Spinning is a movement as well, right?
Evolving, spinning.
Spinning, moving, they're all the same because...
But why are you playing with words? You know the Earth is spinning, that's what I mean. What do you mean by spinning as well? The Earth is supposed to be rotating at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator.
Relative to what? That's the question.
Related to what?
That's a question of relativity.
Because right now, I'm not moving relative to the Earth, but Earth might be relative, I don't know.
So yeah, we're moving relative
to space, turning around related to what?
Can we talk one at a time, please? All your senses now are telling you you're not spinning, but yet you're taking on authority telling you are spinning. But your senses are telling you you're not. You look at the behaviour of water.
If everything is spinning at the same time, how will I, if I'm moving with my arm in front of me, and I'm not looking at what's around me, how can I know?
Do you believe in science?
Yes.
If we look back at the history, other than very famous people like Samuel Robotham, who's considered a PhD and a founder of Flat Earth, he did over 200 experiments, okay? From lighthouses, seeing islands from 50 miles away, stuff like that. And then there's experiments like the Sagnac experiment, like the Mike and Morty experiment, Airy's failure. These are real experiments where they sent a light one way, a light the other way, and they were both going to come back through mirrors and later. So basically, in all these experiments, they found out there was no movement, and they found out we're not spinning.
Is it one person
have you been
versus
to
all of them?
Have you been to Madame Tussauds Auditorium? You should go there. You're sitting in a structure where the sky goes around, and that's all it does. Now, 2,000 years ago, they were telling us where planets were. How? When they didn't really have telescopes, because they would see the same planet be at the same location every single year, every single month. It's nothing complicated for you to understand. I can predict where the sun's going to be every single day for the whole year. I can predict where the moon is going to be every single day from the whole year.
From our point of perspective.
Now the sun is like this, correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, example. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 6. That's what you think. In reality, all it's doing is it disappears through something called the vanishing point because there's converging lines. Where as something goes further, it's going to go down. Okay, now this is the sun. The moon does the same thing. Planets are exactly the same thing, but they move this way.
Just because you don't understand relativity.
I study celestial mechanics, orbital mechanics. I've been doing quantum physics for 7 years. I can break it down to you.
Okay.
What?
Which university?
Resonance Academy in Hawaii. Okay, and my profi, listen, my profi is, yes it is, Resonance Academy, okay? Nasim Haramain. And this guy is completely against us. But the point is, why do I know? Because I'm with them. If you want to know information, you have to study everything. For me to talk about this, I have to have read a lot of Brian Greene work, a lot of Neil deGrasse Tyson work, yes or no? And I still do as much physics as I want all the time. Why? Because I want to know the truth. And if you send me a monkey with a camera on a rocket, a live video all the way to space station, all of us would shut up. And I would close this thing down, and I would make sure none of us exist, but they don't do that.
But they have done something.
No, they haven't, not live. They put it, just when you can't see it, they shut up, and they go to 3D, and they go to CGI, and then they show us it docking. We're not stupid. We're here to really talk about science.
Are you sure you studied
yes, I'm sure. I'm sure.
You don't really sound like an academic to me.
Why not? Why? Because I'm talking about something else? If I told you Einstein was full of garbage, would I still sound as an academic? Explain to me how AC works. Explain to me how Wi-Fi works. Explain to me how radio works. Who invented them?
They're not invented.
Found by who?
It's light.
By who?
The same as light.
Who found it?
You can observe it. You observe light around you.
Who found it? Who discovered it?
It's not a discovery. It's
okay. There's something called a patent where you register a discovery, and his name is Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla invented something called alternate current. He invented something called radio, Wi-Fi, all of that. Obviously, I liked what you said. He didn't invent, he discovered. But you guys don't learn about him. You guys learn about Einstein.
Of course we know about Tesla.
You've heard, but have you ever gotten a magnet in class at the age of 6 and rubbed it around the copper and see how electrons set off? Have you ever really gone into this crazy easy world of creating energy? Have you ever been taught how to plant?
Yes,
okay, listen.
We're studying science.
Listen, my point of the story is science is broken down into two parts, experimental and theoretical. We are for experimental.
No, we do theory and then go to life.
Great, great. Then that should be easier for you to start understanding what we're talking about. If there is a curvature, then there's a formula to it. This is called the Pythagorean theorem, where it says that every mile squared times 8 inches is the drop you're supposed to get. So if I go to the waters and I see a lighthouse or an island 30 miles away, there's something going on. You understand? They're not supposed to be, I'm not supposed to be capable of seeing that island 30 miles away because there's supposed to be a drop. That's one. Two, if I have 1,000 pictures of the moon and the sun and I have on Facebook, I can show you now, why can't I have a live video zooming into Earth, going back, doing a nice zoom on the moon, going back in space? Why don't I get that? 3, why is water always level? 4, give me a scientific proof of water sticking to a ball. 5, why did Neil Armstrong was shivering with his pen, not knowing what to say after he got to the moon? Why in Astronauts Gone Wild, and a funny thing happened to the moon, these are two documentaries on YouTube by Bart Sibbel, you realize that these astronauts are just scared and they keep saying, hey, take it up with NASA, we're just passengers. We have nothing to do with all of this. Why? Instead of saying, hey, are you crazy? Are you against me coming to the moon? Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me do this. My point is, it's a very easy debate for them to shut us up in. If I was the government right now, I'd shut everyone up in 1 hour. But why don't they do it? Because they can't. And when you look at the history of Operation Paperclip, how they bought 4,000 scientists from Germany, how the founder of NASA, Wernher von Braun, is a German Nazi scientist, who on his grave, Psalms 19.1, he says, the kingdom of heaven shows its glory through the firmament, then you realize something's going on. This is all a discovery, a journey you must take on your own. If you're not interested in this, forget about it. It was easy for me because I became a pilot. I have my private license, credentials. It was easy for me because I've been doing quantum physics for 7 years. And it was easy for me because I tried to get into Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic. He said I would go on, and then the ride never took place. I've been following Elon Musk for a very long time, and I love science. And all I do is take pictures of the moon and of the stars, and I'm a big researcher into Nikola Tesla more than you think. More than you. I literally went to his museum, I met people from his family. So I'm not here to fight with anyone. I'm here to promote love and compassion, especially to the new generation. And my problem are you guys, my cousins. I have some who had PhDs who think they came from monkeys, who wish that 1 billion people in Africa and Asia would die, and the Middle East.
Said we come from monkeys. That's not even true.
Okay. Oh, good. So now you an ancestor from the monkey.
Cousins.
Cousins. Oh, second cousin.
Or like, if you want to say cousins,
I'm a cousin of a pig, to be honest. The point is, we're here to talk science right now. You can't come to a table without doing your experimental physics and proofs. Okay, we're just here to promote truth.
We're not promoting conspiracy.
No, you're associating. Look, when I was your age, we laughed about religions. We laughed about the idea of flat Earth. We laughed about our stupid ancestors who thought that the Earth was flat. I'm like you, and I loved Star Wars, and I loved the Big Bang, and I loved electrons and photons flying through this gravity and this beautiful gravitons with a space-time construct and the condition and how they became bacteria. Then the bacteria started evolutioning into this beautiful fish, and then monkey. I loved it too.
Okay. Yeah. No one said graviton has been proven. It's proved first. It's just a theory.
Yes, but what we explain why things go up and down is not a theory. It's called density and buoyancy and electromagnetism. And it will work every single time.
You tried to say it was proved, and I was saying you can't prove gravity, and you were saying that you could.
No.
You told me you could prove gravity.
Yeah,
well,
but no, I'm saying graviton. Graviton is particle associated to gravity.
No, gravity holds water to a ball. You said you could prove it to me, so I was asking for proof of that.
Yeah, because...
And you give me an equation. You give me an equation on a piece of paper, and I said that's not proof of anything, because it's a language. I said math is a language that helps explain something. It doesn't prove something in nature.
If you just do the experiment on if you do the experiment on space, you see that.
Look at this. Nassim quantity gravity paper. See this? Are you watching? Nassim quantity gravity. Look at this. Gravity, quantity, and the holographic mass. Nassim. This is all quantum physics and all about Einstein's equations and how he continues this. This guy is my property and he promotes everything you're saying gravity. I'm here to tell you this is garbage because this is maths. Maths will always describe something, but it will never explain why this folds, why steel sinks in water and plastic stays or rubber stays is all about density, nothing else. Wood is less dense than water, yes, so it stays up. Steel is more dense than water, so it goes down. Helium is less dense than water, than air, so it goes up. Bubbles are less dense than water, so they go up. It's all about density and buoyancy. Now, when you talk about, no, but why is it going down? Then I'll enter the electrical universe with you, and I'll talk about anode and cathode, I'll talk about electromagnetism. You see, in science, you PhDs now, we describe the photon, okay, and the proton as forces that are keeping it together. There's no longer something called the weak force and the strong force. We call it electromagnetism and gravity. For me to come here and stand here, it's because I understand science. If I never took quantum physics, or experimental physics, or orbital mechanics, or celestial mechanics, I wouldn't stand here. My problem is I'm an old man and I'm getting older, and what I care about is spreading new knowledge. Because my cousin wants to wear her mini skirt just so you can drive next to Max, and she lives in this materialistic bullshit world of banks and me instead of we. She really wants half the population to die because she believes in scarcity and lack of space. So I'm here to tell her, silence. You're supposed to be living in a world where fruits and vegetables are abundant, where you have 14D technology printing Lamborghinis and houses, where free energy is supposed to be unlimited, where your right brain of creativity is at its maximum, and not this fear-based bullshit of 40 hours going to university, being indoctrinated, saying I got an education and I'm not going to ask questions. And then you tell me 99% of scientists don't know anything. Obviously they don't. They're compartmentalized and they're departmentalized. I speak to NASA personnel, what can I tell you? They're nice people. They're nice people. And the guy that makes seatbelts for spaceships, he's amazing. And the guy that checks the combustion pool is amazing. But they have nothing to do with the people hiding. This is just tip of the iceberg. We're not into this. Us who promote this, we're not even into this. We're talking about very crazy stuff like activating your DNA. We're talking about plants communicating. We're talking about flying through different realms. You know what I mean? We're much more advanced. So this is a first step for you. If you still believe in the moon landing, you're wasting your time here. There's a beautiful girl waiting for you. Go chat her. Do you believe in the moon landing?
of course I do.
Then why are you still standing here?
It's not if it's
Why
not
are you
it's
still
a
standing
fact.
here? Yes, it's a fact, just like Santa Claus. I swear to you, they're both facts. I saw Santa Claus when I was young 4 times, and even the tooth fairy left me a tooth under my head. That's a fact. And 1,000 kids will back me up. Yes, that's a fact. Don't waste your time here. You're wasting your time.
You're wasting your time.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. I'm with my family. Who are you with? These are my family. Who are you with?
I don't need
He's
people.
wasting our time. Police, get him out of here.
I don't need people to support me.
200, nobody supports you. A bunch of indoctrinated fools who are waking up, okay? 200 proves the world is not, educated, okay? What you're doing is being indoctrinated, that's it. If you're educated, you're gonna be looking for intelligence. Intelligence is information all across the world. Don't be afraid. We're not here to hurt anyone. My family are responsible for stuff like this. You know what I mean? The Masons are my family. Bad, evil people in my family. You know what I mean? So what I'm here to tell you is, let's choose peace and love and compassion, and you're gonna see this beautiful earth. I'm willing to lead, not because I want to be a leader, but because I know for a fact that I love everybody equally. Whether you're black or Chinese or an Arab or a Jew or any race, I see all of you as equal to me.
Absolutely.
Okay? That is the truth. And when I'm in the train in New York City and I'm stuck with 20 people around me, I love the smell of each one. I love the smell of the Latino, of the Indian, of the Paki, of the Arab, of the Jew, of the black. That's who I became now.
What's the relation with flat Earth? Just like to know, maybe.
No, it's just a simple thing. They're telling me the North Pole is freezing. They're telling me in the South Pole is freezing. They're telling me that these are the countries we're in.
Well, you should go.
Listen. And they're telling me that there's no way out except for this way. And they're telling me that everyone has diseases and everyone's going to be sick, especially genetically made. And they're telling me that we have a problem with oil and energy. They're telling me that there's a problem with divide and conquer and hatred, and these Arabs want to kill everyone, and those Muslims want to kill the Sunnah, and the crazy North Korean wants to kill. Wait a second. And they're telling me that I have to pay tax and wait 40 hours a week. They're telling me that, like me, there's billions of different planets. All these things. When you find out all of that is nonsense, this is something we can prove now. I can't prove who killed John F. Kennedy, although the last president who did Executive Order 10025, who tried to abolish the Federal Reserve, got killed, and he spoke to people like you. That's your first evidence. Look at the last speech of the last 3 American presidents. We are being controlled. There are secret societies. Take my words. We are being attacked. Why don't you believe a president of America who got killed, who was the first and last Catholic president? Explain to me. Why don't you believe Tesla, who died, telling you they're swapping experiments for stupid equations?
That everything you're saying is just nonsense.
My friend, you believe in Santa Claus. What am I going to prove to you? You believe in the tooth fairy. You do. Yes, you do. It's the same thing. So why am I going to waste my time with you? Now I wasted enough talk with you after these amazing gentlemen. Okay, please.
Just proving you're saying no.
Get a lighter. Get a lighter. You have a lighter? Burn this. Kill us. Yeah, that's what you want. You don't want to hear.
No, I'm
Start by 200 proofs.
I tried to convince you.
You tried to convince. How old are you? 5 or 9? How old are you? 5 or 9?
So you.
How old are you? 5 or 9? I'm asking you a question.
I'm 19.
Okay, good. Start with 200 proofs the Earth is flat. History of flat Earth. Go to the sea. Buy a P900. Start taking photos of the ships, of the stars. Go to NASA. Ask them you want real photos of the Earth. Then research everything to do with Bert Sabran. Funny thing happened to them on the way to the moon, and astronauts gone wild. And start researching. And end of the day, if Santa Claus is part of you, it's part of you. But don't waste our time. Okay? Because you are, like the Matrix says, you're that guy that wanted the steak and sold his soul. Remember him? Tastes good. That's who you are. Yeah.
This is what's being offered to you here, is a red pill, where you can choose to take the blue pill and stay within the Matrix.
But don't tell anyone. Because if you tell anyone, they're going to put you in jail or make you psycho. What you got to say is, you know what, Mike? I've got a problem with the ball earth theory. I don't have enough experimental, physical, observable, testable proof to support it.
Are you in jail now? No, you're free to speak. Okay, to speak, right? To speak.
No, I can't. No, I can't. No, I can't. Freedom of expression is these days on the social media. And when we have websites being shut down, when we have Facebook pages being shut down, we're not free anymore. This is our last inch of freedom. And the first thing I asked one of those flat earthers that was talking to me, you are CIA, aren't you? You are FBI, because it's not easy for them to be here, infiltrating us, laughing at us, and taking pictures, and taking names. So we're not free, my friend.
I haven't taken any pictures. You can taking videos. I don't mind. See, that's exactly contrary of what you're saying, right? It's exactly.
See, all of us, we pay taxes. we have no problem with financing a monkey with a camera being thrown all the way to the space station. Okay? We want the live videos all the way, like this, all the way to the space station. After the change of atmosphere, the Van Allen belt, that thing, and then he comes out, trajectory, and then he goes into a gravitational lock. We want that live, and we will destroy anybody who messes with the Santa Claus believers. Until then, don't waste my time. Go find yourself a nice girl, because you're wasting your time. Because we became this after we were you for 30 years. You understand? I spat on a spiritual guy once, I swear to you, when I was 23. He was laughing at us about the moon and the stars. I knew that we didn't arrive to the moon because of certain movies, but the stars doesn't exist. I spat on him, literally. A 55-year-old man, I swear to you. That's who I was. I would have literally stabbed a flat earther 10 years ago. I would have kicked out my own cousin. You understand what I mean? None of us wake up and say, you know what, we want to be those crazy psychos in society and we want to promote this bullshit. We all were scientists in our ways. We all loved Star Wars and Star Trek, and we all wanted to get off this planet, and we all believed in lots of stuff. Unfortunately, we followed the path, and we do not go for Richard Dawkins' words of evolution. We go to the labs. We look at the fossils, and then we realize that this fossil is a fake. We can't promote it. When we look at the anatomy of a horse, and then we realize that a black NBA player and a midget are both humans, we don't say that the midget evolution so that he can reach the bananas on the tree, and that's why a black man is so tall. You understand what I'm saying? So go for the science. Look, there's a website, look it up now, called Descent from Darwinism. Look it up. Descent from Darwinism. 3,000 PhD scientists in Israel, in England, in France, and America say that there isn't enough experimental proof to promote Darwinism. And all of them are in cell biology and biologists and chemists. Do you believe in that website? Do you believe in it?
I don't know.
You have a phone?
Yeah, I can check.
Put it now. Because this is going to be a big step for you. Okay. If you say, what? All these scientists with PhDs are against what I'm learning in school, then maybe it's easier for you to calculate. Because unfortunately if we pick PhDs in astronomy and celestial mechanics, the first thing they'll do is confirm that we're dummies, and that we put Descent from Darwinism. And then you're going to see, Descent, D-I-S-S-E-N-T, from, you know how to spell that, Darwinism, from Darwin, then add the ism at the end. Press enter. This one? Yeah. Wait. Don't worry, I have 5 phones. Yeah, I'm a millionaire too. Okay, here. There is, see it? Guys, look for the proof. Look at this. Now download the list. Okay, now here it's going to tell you the name of the scientist, which university he is, and what academic PhD degree he has. All of them against Darwinism. Like this list, there's another one that talks about free energy. There's another one that talks about what we are is basically something called what? Heliocentric or geocentric? Who are we? Do you know who we are? Who are we? Geocentric or heliocentric?
Once again, as I explained to
what does heliocentric and geocentric mean?
It doesn't mean anything. Because relativity, there's no absolute in the universe except the speed of light.
Light is rubbish. Sound is faster than speed of light. Put proof.
So how do you explain that you hear a lightning before?
I'll explain. Ask and explain. Because the lightning hits the dome and comes all the way back. That's why it takes a little bit longer, because it's going 5,000 miles. Whereas the light is a couple of miles away. You understand, my brother? Sound is faster than light. Sonoluminescence proves that sound hitting a bubble creates light. Sound pulses, proof sound pulses.
Cymatics.
Okay. Other than cymatics, and what sound does, boils water, heals DNA. We have been led to believe that it's all about light. 286,000 miles an hour. A second, sorry. That's what light is, and that's why it takes 8 minutes for the sunlight to come down, because it's 93 million miles away. Put proof, sound pulses faster than light. PhDs in an experiment in America in a university. You need to go down this rabbit hole away. Right now what you did is wasted my time, because I have beautiful messages to explain to my brothers. Instead,
there's a guy from this list with in my university.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him.
Let him FaceTime me with you.
I'm gonna ask
all the
him.
books. Okay.
I'm gonna ask him if he really signed this.
If he what?
If he really signed this thing.
Understand or sign?
If he agrees to be on this list.
Okay.
Okay?
You're a beautiful man, I'm not saying no. Okay? But you have to understand, look at this.
I'm just gonna check.
Look at this, Judy Mikovits, PhD scientist. She was arrested, okay? Doctor fired, jailed and broke. She proved that vaccines created autism. So they told her, you're gonna tell her that this proof is nonsense or we're putting you in jail. She didn't accept that, they put her in jail. This is true.
Dr. Andrew Wakefield as well.
John Bedini, a scientist, an American, he was in the military for 25 years, an engineer. He created something called free energy through sounds because he was working with speakers. He would go up to guys like this and tell them, you know what, if you get a coil, a copper, you resonate, all that stuff. They killed him and his brother. And his brother, John Bedini died November 5th, 2016, a year and a half ago. What I'm trying to tell you, this is real information. What is conspiracy? That a friend of mine died? How stupid are you to answer me that way? You think I'm gonna say something and not take it to the court? Is that what you think? Is that what you think? Let's see the conspiracy camera of this little boy calling me a conspiracy. Let it open. Free Energy died unexpectedly Saturday, November 5th. Free Energy researcher. 4 hours after his brother Gary died, who was his partner? Who wrote this? Go to the burial of New York City. What are you doing? You stupid. I'm telling you, a friend of mine died. What do you mean who wrote this? What do you mean who wrote this? Now you're disrespecting me. I just told you a friend of ours died. Start by saying me here.
How do you know it's been killed by the government? How do you know it's being killed by the government or whatever institution you think is?
Oh, you mean why him and his brother died 4 hours in between after he was threatened and he gave information? Oh, that is a conspiracy. You're right. That is a conspiracy. So the guy was promoting free energy. He was threatened. Him and his brother both died within 4 hours of each other. His family saying the guy was healthier than an ox.
Okay. Just have a question.
So we're gonna call it a conspiracy. You know what? Just like JFK, he was a conspiracy.
Sorry, stop it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Did promote free energy to people that believed him, and they like where were the threat coming from?
When you are promoting something that is against the best interests of the corporations like Nikola Tesla's Wardenclyffe Towers, where he was able to resonate to ley lines, which is what we have, positive, negative ions, and he was able to resonate, get electricity and send it through electromagnetism to the city of New York, and they were like, oh my God, this guy's gonna give free energy to everyone, shut him down, shut him down, burn his building down, let's get him broke. He's an idiot. He didn't do anything. He's a psycho. We put him as this evil scientist. After he dies 20 years later, you know what? He did discover radio. It was in Marsigny of Italy. That's what happens to you, my friend. My own cousins would have me killed because she's into evolutionary psychology.
Do you realize Tesla fell in love with a pigeon at the end of his life?
He what?
He fell in love with this pigeon at the end of his life.
You are more important than a pigeon. I can give you 20 million of my money, and that's normal in your country, but I can't talk to a pigeon? Are you crazy?
They had him locked up in the New Yorker.
I think you're crazy.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. God bless you for your beautiful words and your kind words. I hope today you take 0.1% of what I said, only, and you research it so that in your third generation of life, you'll maybe start thinking, you know what? Maybe they did get to the moon 3 times, not 20 times.
6 times?
That's all I want.
No, they didn't make it on pole 13, did they?
Okay, I'm going to let you there. I think I'm going to check if this academics actually is on this list. I'm pretty sure it's not.
I want to tell you something about peer review science. Everything you guys have was 15 years in the making.
Apparently this guy is from my department, and we actually agreed to be on this list.
What, you was? You found them?
No, it's written in my department.
Spread love, and remember to choose compassion always, over hate and over fear. Don't be scared. And you are being watched.
I'm coming here. It's why I'm coming here.
100%. Like the Truman Show, you are being watched. Remember.
Science allegedly challenged.
Science is always challenged every day.
It's challenged
but
every
it's
day.
not how we do it. We do it the real way, okay? And that's not science, okay? You can only you challenge science by science. What you do is just bullshit.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah, we challenge science every day.